In the beginning, before time itself had meaning, there was only none, the endless dark ocean of chaos. None was not just water, but a boundless, formless expanse, swirling with potential yet shrouded in mystery. It was the primordial abyss, silent and infinite, where nothing yet existed and all was possibility. From this abyss, Atum, who would later be known as Ra, the great sun god, willed himself into existence. He emerged atop the Benben, the first mound of earth to rise from the endless waters. This sacred mound glowed with the promise of creation, a beacon of light piercing the eternal darkness. Alone on the Benben, Ra gazed out over the void. He was the first being, surrounded by emptiness, and he felt a deep longing to bring order and life to the chaos. The silence pressed in, and so Ra resolved to fill the world with creation, to transform the nothingness into a place of beauty and harmony. Drawing upon his own power, Ra created Shu, the god of air, and Tefnut, the goddess of moisture. They were the first divine pair, born from Ra's thoughts and breath. Shu brought the breath of life, while Tefnut brought the gentle touch of dew and rain, balancing dryness and wetness in the world. Together, Shu and Tefnut began to shape the cosmos. With great effort, Shu lifted their daughter Nut, the sky, high above their son, Geb, the earth. This act separated the heavens from the land, creating the first space where life could flourish and the world could take form. Nut arched above, her body studded with stars, while Geb lay below, rich and fertile. Shu stood between them, holding them apart, ensuring that the sky would never again touch the earth. In this new space, the cycle of day and night began, and the world was ready for life. With the world formed, Ra turned his creative power to the earth. He brought forth plants to cover the land, animals to roam and swim, and finally, from his own tears of joy, he created humans. Each tear that fell to the earth became a living soul, and so humanity was born, blessed by the light of Ra. To his new creations, Ra gifted the Nile, a river of life that flowed through the land, bringing fertility and abundance. The Nile's waters nourished the soil, allowing crops to grow and civilizations to rise along its banks. Egypt became a land of plenty, watched over by the benevolent sun god. As the creator and protector, Ra became the first pharaoh, ruling over gods and mortals alike. He sat upon a golden throne, crowned with the radiant sun disk, his wisdom and light guiding the people of Egypt. Ra's rule brought justice, order, and prosperity to the world. Each day, Ra sailed across the sky in his solar bark, bringing warmth, light, and life to the earth below. At night, he bravely journeyed through the underworld, battling the forces of chaos to ensure that dawn would come again. His eternal voyage kept the balance between order and chaos. Thus creation began, a world of order rising from chaos, shaped by the will and wisdom of Ra. The universe was no longer empty, but filled with life, structure, and purpose, all under the watchful gaze of the sun god. And so, the story of gods and mortals unfolded, forever intertwined in the grand tapestry of creation, as Ra's light continued to shine upon the world. After Ra ascended, Osiris, his great-grandson, became king. Osiris, with green skin symbolizing rebirth, ruled with his wife and sister, Isis. Together, they taught humanity to farm, build, and honor the gods. Osiris brought laws and justice. Isis taught wisdom and care. Under their rule, Egypt flourished, harvests were plentiful, and peace reigned. The gods walked among mortals, and harmony prevailed. Osiris spread civilization beyond Egypt, not by conquest, but by sharing knowledge. While he traveled, Isis governed wisely, ensuring prosperity. Their love and leadership became the model for all future pharaohs. The world reflected Ma'at, cosmic order and balance. But darkness grew within the royal family, threatening this golden age. Jealousy would soon shatter the peace. Set, Osiris's brother and the god of chaos, was consumed by envy as he watched Osiris rule Egypt with wisdom and kindness. Set's heart grew darker each day, his jealousy festering as Osiris was celebrated by gods and mortals alike. Set believed that he, not Osiris, was destined to wear the crown. In the shadows of ancient temples, He whispered his grievances to loyal followers, plotting a scheme that would change Egypt forever. With cunning and patience, Set crafted a magnificent chest, adorned with gold and precious stones, its design so exquisite that it drew admiration from all who saw it. But this was no ordinary gift, it was a trap, made to fit Osiris and only Osiris. At a lavish feast attended by the gods and Egypt's nobility, Set unveiled the chest as the centerpiece. He announced a challenge. Whoever could fit perfectly inside would win this priceless treasure. One by one, the guests tried, but none fit. When Osiris stepped forward, laughter and excitement filled the hall. Osiris lay down inside, and to everyone's amazement, the chest fit him exactly, as if it had been made for him alone. In a flash, Set and his conspirators slammed the lid shut, sealing Osiris inside. Before anyone could react, they carried the chest to the riverbank and hurled it into the dark, swirling waters of the Nile. The joyous celebration erupted into chaos. Gasps and cries echoed through the temple as the chest vanished beneath the waves, taking Osiris with it. The gods and mortals alike were struck with horror and disbelief. With Osiris gone, Set seized the throne. He declared himself Pharaoh, and a shadow fell over Egypt. Fear and uncertainty gripped the land as Set's reign began. Under Set's rule, storms battered the land, deserts crept over once fertile fields, and chaos replaced the harmony Osiris had brought. The people suffered, and the gods mourned the loss of order. The golden age of Egypt faded away, replaced by darkness and fear. Set's cruelty knew no bounds, and hope seemed lost. The gods and the people wept for Osiris, their beloved king. Temples echoed with prayers and sorrow, as all of Egypt mourned his loss. But in the midst of grief, Osiris's wife, Isis, found strength. Her sorrow was deep, but her resolve to find and restore Osiris was even deeper. She would not rest until justice was done. As darkness covered the land, a faint hope glimmered on the horizon. The people and gods alike waited, longing for the return of light and order. Set's treachery would not go unpunished. Forces were gathering, and Isis was not alone in her quest. The gods began to prepare for a confrontation that would decide Egypt's fate. The struggle for Egypt's soul had only begun, and the greatest battle between order and chaos was about to unfold. Isis, heartbroken but determined, set out to find Osiris's body. Disguised as a mourner, she searched the Nile, guided by magic and hope. She learned the chest had drifted to Byblos, encased in a tamarisk tree. The tree became a palace pillar, hiding Osiris within. Isis, in disguise, won the queen's favor and revealed her divine identity. Granted the pillar, she freed the chest and reclaimed Osiris's body. She returned to Egypt, hiding the chest in the marshes. Isis planned to use her magic to restore Osiris. Her journey was perilous, but her love was unwavering. The fate of Egypt depended on her success. Isis's quest was not just for her husband, but for the world's balance. Her struggle was far from over. Isis hid Osiris's body in the delta, joined by her loyal sister Nephthys. Using powerful magic, Isis revived Osiris, briefly conceiving their son Horus. Set discovered the body, tore it into 14 pieces, and scattered them across Egypt. Isis, Nephthys, and loyal gods searched for every peace-building temples at each site. With Anubis's help, Isis reassembled Osiris and performed the first mummification. Osiris could not return to the living, but was reborn as king of the underworld. From his throne, he judged souls, offering eternal life to the just. His death and rebirth became a symbol of hope and renewal. The cycle of life, death, and resurrection was established. Osiris's legacy shaped the beliefs of all Egyptians. The promise of life after death endured. In secret, Isis gave birth to Horus, raising him in the marshes, safe from Set. Protected by Hathor and the gods, Horus grew strong. Learning of his father's greatness and his destiny, he faced dangers sent by Set, but his mother's magic kept him safe. Horus was destined to reclaim Egypt and restore order. As he matured, his divine nature shone. He bore the head of a falcon, eyes of sun and moon. Supported by the gods, Horus emerged to challenge Set. His quest was for justice, not revenge, to restore Maat. The fate of Egypt and the cosmos depended on his victory. Horus vowed to restore his father's legacy. A new hope rose for Egypt. The battle for Egypt's throne raged for 80 long years, a conflict that shook the very foundations of the ancient world. This was not just a struggle between two gods, but a war that would decide the fate of the land, its people, and the balance between order and chaos. Horus, the falcon-headed god of kingship in the sky, and Set, the unpredictable god of storms and disorder, clashed in countless forms. Their rivalry was legendary. They fought as wild animals, transforming into fierce beasts, and even challenged each other to races in magical stone boats along the Nile's sacred waters. Each contest tested not only their strength, but also their cunning and wit. The gods' battles were filled with trickery, magical duels, and feats of incredible power, captivating all who witnessed them. The Council of Gods watched from above, their loyalties divided. Some favored Set's raw power, while others believed Horus's claim as rightful heir. The fate of Egypt hung in the balance as the gods debated who should rule. In one of their most brutal encounters, Set tore out Horus's left eye, a moment of agony that echoed across the land. The loss of the eye plunged Egypt into darkness, as if the sun itself had been wounded. Shadows crept over the pyramids, and fear gripped the hearts of mortals. But Thoth, the wise god of wisdom and magic, intervened. He restored Horus's eye with powerful spells, transforming it into a symbol of healing, protection, and wholeness, the legendary Eye of Horus. Reinvigorated, Horus struck back, wounding Set and weakening his chaotic grip. Meanwhile, in the shadowy underworld, Osiris, Horus's father and the rightful king, watched the struggle unfold. Surrounded by spirits and ancient judges, Osiris demanded justice for his son, calling upon the gods to recognize Horus's birthright and restore balance to Egypt. After much debate, the gods finally reached a decision. Horus was crowned king, his head encircled with divine light, and order was restored to the land. The people rejoiced, and the Nile flowed peacefully once more. Set, defeated and stripped of power, was exiled to the barren deserts. His chaos was contained, and the principle of Ma'at, truth, balance, and justice, was restored. Peace returned to Egypt, and the gods watched over the land in harmony. The epic struggle of Horus and Set became legend, a timeless tale of the triumph of order over chaos, and a reminder that even in the darkest times, light and justice can prevail. At the heart of these tales is Ma'at, truth, justice, and cosmic order. Ma'at kept the universe in balance, stars, seasons, and the Nile's floods. The pharaoh's duty was to uphold Ma'at, ensuring harmony and prosperity. When Ma'at was honored, Egypt thrived. When disturbed, chaos reigned. Set's actions were the ultimate violation of Ma'at. Horus's victory restored balance, symbolizing the triumph of order. Egyptians believed living by Ma'at's principles was a sacred duty. Honesty, kindness, and respect for the gods were essential. After death, every soul would be judged by Ma'at's feather. Living well meant contributing to the universe's harmony. Upon death, Egyptians believed the soul journeyed to the Hall of Judgment. Anubis, jackal-headed god of the afterlife, guided souls to their final trial. In the hall, 42 judges and Osiris awaited. The soul made a negative confession, declaring innocence of sin. Anubis weighed the heart against Ma'at's feather. If balanced, Thoth recorded the verdict, and Horus led the soul to Osiris. The just entered the field of reeds, a paradise of abundance. If the heart was heavy, Ammit, the devourer, consumed it, ending the soul forever. This fate was feared above all. The judgment ensured only the righteous found eternal life. Thus, the cycle of life, death, and justice was complete.